Alright y'all, what is up and welcome back to a new video here on the channel. And today I want to talk about one of the GOATs. One of the GOATs in professional wrestling. And that is none other than John Felix Anthony Cena. I know him, you know him. Unless if you've been living under a rock for the last 23 years, you probably do know him. Back in November of 2024, John Cena announced that he was retiring. Last year was probably the biggest and most successful year that WWE has had in a very, very long time. And with 2025, with TKO's first full calendar year, Raw coming to Netflix, and John Cena's final year in the WWE, naturally, high expectations were placed for WWE coming into 2025. And look, we can talk all night and day about that, but however, I want to talk more about John Cena's retirement tour and how, needless to say, it has failed to live up to expectations. Before I begin, I just want to say, back when I was younger, I used to be a massive John Cena fan. Like, genuinely. He was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And I'm not going to deride and say, oh, he was my favorite wrestler of all time and blah, blah, blah. No, but honestly, I genuinely loved him. If you were a wrestling fan back in the 2000s, early 2010s, or if you were growing up around that time period, John Cena was literally everywhere, bro. And in the WWE, John Cena was just not some regular popular guy or, whatever the fuck. This guy's been in the game for 20 plus years. He's a 17-time world champion. He's been part of the Lord knows how many WrestleManias, and he's transcended the modern WWE. During John's time in WWE, he's accomplished so much. He made WWE what it is today, and he's been part of so many historical moments. And I'm saddened because as Triple H and TKO, they really dropped the ball on John Cena's retirement tour. To really start off the retirement tour, John Cena ended up losing the Royal Rumble. Keep in mind, his last one ever. And instead, it went to Jey Uso, somebody, in my opinion, who isn't really championship material. He's more there because of his little catchphrase, 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. Bro, that's literally all that guy does. And plus, he can't wrestle to even save his life. Fast forward 1 month later, it was kind of redeemed when John Cena won the Elimination Chamber match. And he turned heel. Finally, the long-awaited heel turn. The first time he's been heel since 2003. So, over 20 years, he's been a babyface. One of the top babyfaces of the company. The good guy finally broke bad. Shout out Walter White. The Rock, and for some reason Travis Scott even showed out. And in my opinion, it was the biggest heel turn since Hogan. And with heel Cena, we expected big things. And sadly, those big things did not come. Right the first couple weeks, he was cutting promos saying, oh, you guys were fake. You guys booed me. I was part of a you can't see me joke for 15 years of my career. That was great and all for the first couple weeks, and then after that, it went from, oh, cool, to, can you talk about something else, please? And do not even get me started on the frickin' WrestleMania 41 main event. That match was actually dog dookie. Instead of The Rock coming out because he was there for, John Cena's heel turn, it was just Travis Scott. Why? The match itself was passable. But the fact that Travis Scott came in instead of Dwayne, that just fucked the whole night up. The one good thing that came out of it, John Cena broke the record. He is now a 17-time WWE champion. And that shit pissed off a lot of WWE fans, and rightfully so. And admittedly, I was one of them. Because we all thought The Rock was going to come out, and it turned out to be Travis Scott. And again, The Rock was AWOL for no real reason. And also, his title defenses were not that great. For example, there was CM Punk, there was R-Truth and Randy Orton, which the one with him and R-Truth was basically a squash match. The match with Randy Orton was good until R-Truth came on out. The match with Logan Paul was surprisingly not terrible, and the match with CM Punk was just okay. But the one thing about the CM Punk versus Cena feud was when John Cena ripped off one of the most famous promos of all time, which was CM Punk's pipe bomb back in 2011, which for those who haven't seen it, watch it if you haven't. CM Punk basically expresses his frustrations with the company at that time, and he calls out some names from the indies, which Cena did the same thing, but instead they were former WWE guys. And also a pretty highlight of the John Cena heel turn was him teaming up with fucking Logan Paul of all people. And then the heel turn came to an end when John Cena and Cody Rhodes had a face-to-face match at SummerSlam and a no disqualification match, which I thought was good. Which made me ask the question, where was that energy at freaking WrestleMania? Fast forward to August 31st at Clash in Paris, where he faced Hogan Paul. Like, why are we wasting time on people like jobbers like him, actually? And fast forward to WrestlePalooza, where he got squashed by Brock Lesnar in less than 10 minutes, where pretty much Brock spammed German suplexes in F5s left, right, and center. And, like, come on. If John Cena's going to lose in his retirement tour, please, at least go down swinging. Like, at least give us, like, a decent match, a decent, healthy match. Like, I don't know, just a thought. Another rare, high-quality match that came from the retirement tour was his match versus AJ Styles that clashed at the Castle, I believe it was. A 30-minute good one. But, however, the only reason why WWE went along with it because John Cena said on Twitter, "I don't choose my opponents, they choose them for me. And I want to wrestle AJ Styles." That was literally it. However, another bright spot is John Cena finally winning the Intercontinental title, making him a Grand Slam champion. However, he only lost it 2 weeks later to Dom, and yeah. And here we are, fast forward to December of 2025, where he's about to have his last match against either Gunter or LA Knight. Which leads me to the question, what the fuck was so special about this run? What was so special about 2025 for WWE? What was so special about John Cena's retirement tour? This was the guy who put the company on his back for the last 2 decades, and he gets this? I mean, John Cena finally became a Grand Slam champion. Cool. But where was the IC Open Challenge, just like he did with the United States title? Not only that, but we also wanted meaningful matches. We wanted dream matches. The heel turn obviously failed because, one, too little too late. Like, they honestly should have pulled the trigger back in 2011 or 2012, not when the guy's about to leave. And a lot of people will turn heads and say, "Oh, The Rock didn't show up for WrestleMania. He's the reason why his heel turn was so bad," and blah, blah, blah. Okay. John Cena's heel turn was back in February. WrestleMania was back in April. It is now December. And you're telling me they didn't have 4 months to come up with at least something decent for his heel turn? And the sad thing is, when Cena leaves, there's going to be no other star that is going to draw quite like him, both in and out of the WWE. Yeah, you have people like Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, and CM Punk, just to name a few. Roman is a part-timer, so it's only going to be a matter of time before he's out of the company. Cody Rhodes just signed his last contract, so he's going to be out in the company within the next couple years. CM Punk and Randy Orton are both up there in age, and Jey Uso, he's just not connecting with the internet crowd. WWE has potential stars and people like LA Knight and Braun Breaker, but yet for some reason Triple H does not want to pull the trigger because he's playing it safe. And for John Cena's retirement tour, outside of the few moments of, good moments we had, such as the Cena versus Roach match at SummerSlam and him winning the Intercontinental title. The matches were mediocre at best to absolute trash. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Like, this is a massive disservice to John Cena, someone who's been loyal to the company for 20 years. Like, he's busted his balls off for this. And we expected much better from his retirement tour. And just to see him go out like this is absolutely inexcusable. And if this was someone they loved, imagine how they would treat someone they hated. But yeah, anyway, that's my outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just wanted to come on and vent about John Cena leaving and the retirement tour and how it became a giant flop, to be honest. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love y'all. This is Gold Toxic. As always, until next time, peace.